Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's presentation is divided into three main parts. First, I will discuss key highlights and the financial performance of JG Summit and its subsidiaries in the most recent year. Second, I will provide a snapshot of our first quarter results for 2018, as well as some business updates. And lastly, I will share with you our plans and prospects for each of our subsidiaries for 2018, including some key risks and opportunities that we are now facing. Before I begin, let me present our current portfolio. We have strong legs to support the company given the stable stream of earnings from our core subsidiaries or majority investments, primarily URC, Robinson's Land, and Cebu Pacific. Our growth businesses, namely JD Summit Petrochemicals and Robinson's Bank, and our strategic minority interests in Meralco, UIC in Singapore, Global Business Power, as well as PLDT. Our highly diversified portfolio has led JG Summit to be among the largest multi-business conglomerates in the Philippines, increasing our market capitalization by almost 7 times over the last decade to 430 billion pesos. We continue to expand and develop the businesses we're currently in, as well as identify and explore opportunities that will further enhance the quality of our portfolio. Now I'm pleased to share with you key highlights on JG Summit last 2017, which have boosted our company's financial standing and strengthened the group's competitive advantage. In January 2017, Robinson's Land unveiled its solar gallery and solar rooftop project in Robinson's Place, Navaliches, in partnership with Meralco's subsidiary Spectro. This project uses photovoltaic systems that convert sunlight into electricity to power homes and businesses. Aside from reducing total cost of energy and generating power from clean sources, solar adoption also monetizes the roof, enhancing the property value while reducing utilization of air conditioning units for our mall. In February of 2017, URC and Hong Kong's Vitasoy Group formed a joint venture, leading to another addition to URC's beverage lines. Vitasoy's soy milk portfolio offers a variety of formulations, such as those that have zero cholesterol, lactose-free, low in saturated fat, and rich in good quality protein. This will cater to the domestic market, promoting synergies for both consumers' well-being and sustainable nutrition through plant-based beverage products. In April, JG Summit invested in Singapore-based C Limited, an internet-based platform company focused on Greater Southeast Asia in line with our foray into digital and e-commerce. In June, JG Summit made an additional investment in Meralco at 250 pesos per share, thereby increasing our group stake by 2.44% to 29.6 billion pesos. Also in June, Robinson's Land further diversified its revenue streams through the creation of a new business unit devoted to infrastructure and integrated development, including logistics and warehouse facilities. This unit has so far undertaken 3 major projects, namely the 18.5-hectare Sierra Valley across Ortigas Avenue Extension, their 31-hectare Bridgetown mixed-use development along C5, and a 4.6-hectare warehousing hub in Muntinlupa. In July, Express Holdings, a unit of JG Summit, formed a joint venture with Hong Kong-based Oriente. This joint venture is envisioned to set up digital financial service to address the unbanked Filipino population and enable them to tap into cheaper credit facilities to bridge their ever-growing needs. In October, Robinson's Bank soft launched the very first DOS MasterCard in the Philippines. It's the only credit card in the market that automatically splits all straight retail transactions into 2 gives at 0 interest rate. Also in October, Cebu Pacific launched its cadet pilot training program, Study Now, Pay Later scheme for 240 aspiring pilots who will train in Australia. This program will homegrown Filipino pilots through exposure to state-of-the-art pilot training facilities and best-in-class international standards. And lastly, in December 2017, JG Summit Petrochemical Group has awarded to CTCI in Taiwan the EPC contract for aromatics and butadiene extraction units. As EPC contractor, CTCI will apply its outstanding technological global expertise in developing the engineering, design, procurement of materials, and construction of two extraction units, which will produce value-added petrochemicals downstream of our naphtha cracker. In terms of full-year audited financial statement, JG Summit consolidated revenues grew 14% to 273 billion, driven by the strong performance of petrochemicals and positive growth from Cebu, URC, and Robinsons Bank. Core net income after tax, excluding non-operating items and non-recurring items, amounted to 29.6 billion, relatively flat year-on-year for 2017. This mainly due to lower net income from our airline business affected by the rise in fuel prices, offset by double-digit income increases from both petrochemicals and our equity earnings of associates, particularly Meralco and UIC. Net income attributable to equity holders of the parent amounted to 29.4 billion, a 169% increase from a low base in 2016 when we recognized a 16.7 billion impairment loss from the decline in market value of our investment in PLDT. Performances of our subsidiaries are as follows. URC managed to grow revenues by 11% to 125 billion, driven by the 30% increase in net sales of international operations of our branded consumer foods group. This is mainly due to the full-year consolidation of Snack Brands Australia, as well as growth from Thailand, AIG, and Sure. Profitability remained challenged, however, as our domestic operations faced declines in volumes and changes in product mix, particularly for our coffee business. With lower forex gains and higher financing costs, URC's net income declined by 15% to 10.9 billion pesos. Today, we remain to be the #1 snack foods company in the Philippines and New Zealand, and we're present in 13 markets across ASEAN and Oceania, offering 4 branded product categories. We currently have 5 strategic joint ventures with Nissin's and Calbee of Japan, Vitasoy of Hong Kong, Danone of France, and Conagra of the US. And our agro-industrial and commodity food group continues to be one of the largest players in the Philippines. For Cebu Pacific, revenues grew 10% to 68 billion, as all segments increased, with passenger, cargo, and ancillary posting growths of 7%, 29%, and 15% respectively. However, net income for the year declined by 19% to 7.9 billion, due mainly to higher fuel costs and the weaker peso. As of 2017, we have captured 56% of domestic market share, and at the end of 2017, we have a fleet of 61 aircraft flying our customers to 37 domestic and 25 international destinations. Passengers volumes grew 3.2% to 19.7 million in 2017. RLC's total sales were at 22.4 billion, flat from 2016 due to lower residential sales, which offset the increase in rental revenues from malls and office divisions. Conversely, net income nudged up to 5.9 billion due to slightly better margins. In 2017, we opened 3 malls in Iligan, Naga, and Tacloban, and leased out 4 new office buildings in Luisita, Cyber Sigma, Cyber Delta, and Cyber Naga. In the hotel business, we added 220 rooms after the completion of Summit Gallery in Cebu, and lastly, we launched 2 new residential projects late last year. JG Summit Petrochemicals reached consolidated revenues of 41.4 billion for 2017, a 42% increase year-on-year, driven by higher sales volume and average selling price. Despite higher naphtha costs, we achieved double-digit net income growth of 70% to 6 billion pesos in 2017, as we sustained about 95% production rate in our 250-hectare integrated naphtha cracker and polymer unit in Batangas. Robinsons Bank generated revenues of 4.5 billion, a 31% increase year-on-year, brought about by higher interest income and trading gains for the period. Costs and expenses also increased as the bank continued expansion. Consequently, net income increased by 20% to 307 million pesos. We ended the year with 146 branches and 248 ATMs in strategic locations nationwide. The bank's consolidated asset base has reached 105 billion, mainly driven by the 49% surge in our gross loan portfolio in 2017. JG Summit's balance sheet and cash position remain healthy. In terms of debt on the consolidated level, our financial debt amounted to 227 billion, which was a 3% increase from December 2016, mainly due to additional term loans availed by the parent company and Robinsons Land during the period. This reflects a consolidated gearing ratio of 0.66 times and a net gearing of 0.50 times. In terms of our parent balance sheet and debt profile, cash was stable at 18.8 billion, while gross debt stood at 91.1 billion, all of which were at fixed rates, and 25% of 19 billion was short-term debt. Parent net debt registered at 72.3 billion, with a net dollar exposure of $528 million. The blended cost of the parent's long-term debt posted at 4.8%, with an average remaining life of 4.6 years. The parent company received total dividends of 14.1 billion, 33% coming from our mainstays, URC and RLC, 11% coming from Cebu Pacific, and the balance of 56% primarily from our minority stakes in Meralco, PLDT, and Global Business. For capex in 2017, the group spent 43.5 billion. Of the total group capex, 40% was for RLC, for the construction of malls, offices, and hotels, as well as land banking, 34% for Cebu's fleet acquisition, and 18% for URC's capacity expansion of various lines in the Philippines and across the ASEAN. 7% was spent for petrochemicals operating and maintenance capex, as well as preparatory capex for its expansion. Let me now discuss with you JG Summit's performance for the first quarter of 2018. JG Summit posted consolidated revenues of 70.7 billion, 5% growth versus last year, driven by higher fares at Cebu, strong real estate sales and rental income growth at Robinsons Land, and a significant expansion of our loan portfolio at Robinsons Bank. This was moderated by tepid top-line performance of URC due to continuing challenges in our domestic branded food business. We likewise experienced a decline in JG Summit petrochemical revenues as a result of lower sales volumes. Meanwhile, the strong performance from JG Summit's investments in UIC, Meralco, and Global Business translated to a 21% jump in equity net earnings of associates amounting to 2.5 billion pesos. Consolidated core net income after tax declined 23% year-on-year to 6.3 billion as the core income contribution from URC Petrochemicals and Cebu Air fell 26.6%, 60%, and 17.8% respectively, cushioned by RLC's 11% core income growth. The group's margins in 2018 were diluted by rising input costs given the weaker peso as well as higher oil prices. We continue to maintain a healthy balance sheet and cash position with a stable gearing ratio of 0.64 and a net debt to equity of 0.49 as of the end of March. This provides us the financial flexibility to continue to fund our investments and growth. With regards to the maturing debt in 2019 of 24 billion pesos, our current cash position plus dividends from our subsidiaries and investments for the rest of the year, as well as our manageable parent leverage ratio, give us enough flexibility to finance any upcoming maturities. For the first quarter of 2018, we have already received 7.8 billion dividends from our stable of companies. For the rest of 2018, we will continue to expand our business and generate long-term value for JG Summit's stockholders while being mindful of continuing challenges that we face. For URC, we will reaccelerate our sales and profitability for different categories. We will drive portfolio optimization through brand renovation, performance-driven promotions, and review of our current assortments. We will also improve our route-to-market execution and supply chain capabilities to achieve better numeric distribution, stock weights, and service levels. And we have selectively implemented price increases in various categories to offset higher input costs and the weaker peso. Finally, we are taking major steps to further build our leadership team and have appointed as our new president for URC, Mr. Erwin Lee. For RLC, we will continue to sustain our expansion of our investment portfolio. For our malls, we aim to continue our provincial expansion. Next year, we expect to reach 1.5 million square meters in malls by expanding gross leasable area by 9%. For offices, we will open EXA, Zeta, and Cyberscape Gamma this year, and additional buildings next year, which would increase our aggregate office gross leasable area to almost 500,000 square meters by the end of next year. For Hotels, we will continue to roll out projects across international and company-owned brands. And for our residential division, we intend to launch this year 4 new residential projects across various pricing segments. We have also recently entered into joint ventures with Shangri-La Properties and Hong Kong Land Group, which should add further value to the company. For Cebu, we are accelerating our strategy with A330 and 321 aircraft coming in for a flexible fleet expansion plan. We will continue to drive digital transformation and operations for scalability, productivity, and enhanced customer experience. For our petrochemicals business, we have been able to consistently run at about 95%. We plan to continue with optimizing plant operations and raw material supply so as to sustain the current production rates for the complex. For our petrochemical expansions projects, we have awarded EPC contracts for our naphtha cracker expansion, new aromatics and butadiene extraction units, and expanded polymer units. These projects are targeted to be operational by 2020. Robinsons Bank has launched its personal online banking system for web and mobile with new and improved security features. We will have the public launch of the DOS credit card next month, and the DOS credit card is the only card that will allow to pay in 2 gigs at 0% interest for all straight retail purchases. We have also deployed PesoNet and InstaPay in line with BSP initiatives, allowing for convenient interbank transfers. The bank will also undergo 3 billion recapitalization, which JG Summit will support to the tune of 1.8 billion in the second half to sustain loan and branch network growth. For expansion and maintenance projects of 2018, we have budgeted a total of 78.1 billion pesos on CapEx. Out of this budget, we have already spent 14 billion or 14% or 11 billion in the first quarter of 2018. As we progress, we recognize there are various external risks to our business that affect how we will operate moving forward. First, current regulations involving tax reform with the trade laws, stricter environmental laws, and risks from other regulatory bodies are new challenges that our business face. We continue to invest in instituting core programs on environment, social, and governance to proactively identify and engage the government and mitigate these risks. Second, since our businesses are market leaders, are strong competitors in the verticals where we participate, we will continue to face tougher competition, and thus it's imperative upon us to maintain our focus on our core capabilities to protect our competitive advantage to withstand competition. And we can only do this by being more responsive to the ever-changing needs of consumers. Third, the volatility in commodity prices and forex rates, as well as the rising interest rates, ultimately will impact our profitability and our ability to invest for growth. We will continue to manage our portfolio and offer stronger value propositions to sustain our margins, and we are confident that our highly diversified portfolio makes us resilient through what we expect to be a tougher business cycle this year. Likewise, we will continue to manage our balance sheet very prudently. Lastly, we realize that with the speed of digitalization and with data available at our fingertips, there are more and more risks of technology disruption. We have laid down plans to actively disrupt our own existing core business, as well as identify synergistic opportunities within our ecosystem, where we are confident we can create value by uncovering potentials under the fields of e-commerce, logistics, and finance, while embedding digital ideas into our own core businesses. In line with our digitalization initiatives, we have engaged in closely work with top global management firms for our enterprise digital transformation program to future-proof the organization in terms of our customer touchpoints, day-to-day operations, and identification of new business initiatives. We are identifying opportunities within the JG Summit's ecosystem where we can implement digitalization to improve efficiency in our operations and maximize synergy within the group through technology. Last year, we announced that we have partnered with Hong Kong-based Oriente to develop a digital finance marketplace that will address financial exclusion for underbanked consumers and MSMEs in the Philippines. Finally, to implement all these plans, I'm pleased to I'm honored to be appointed as JD Summit's President and CEO effective May 1st this year. We started this transition of the CEO role in 2016, but enable continuity on key initiatives in the organization. This transition period has now completed, and just to mention that my key focus areas in the coming years would be to drive the vision and strategic agenda of our entire company, particularly on capital allocation, with a greater emphasis on environmental, social, and government to manage risks, talent management to ensure leadership continuity, as well as portfolio management to drive growth and diversification, as well as pursuing enterprise digital transformation. Before I end, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to our shareholders and the members of our board of directors for your continued trust and confidence in the company. I'd also like to acknowledge our incoming chairman, Mr. James Go, who has been the CEO of JG Summit Group during its very successful years between 2002 and 2018. We'd like to thank Mr. Go for his guidance along this past 16 years. And all of us here at the board look forward to standing alongside you in the years to come as we hopefully face another remarkable and proactive year of excellence as a leading conglomerate in the Philippines. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
The chair will now entertain questions on the report of the president. Please acknowledge yourself